Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I received a very exciting box. I didn't actually expect this because I only ordered it I think 4 days ago, but I did receive my new Anastasia Nouveau palette. I've been hearing so many people say Nouveau or just pronouncing Nouveau so wrong, which I understand. It is not, not everyone knows French. So I'm really excited that I received it. Now, as soon as I saw this palette, I was a little bit like, okay, I have to have that in my collection. I don't know what it was about it. Her previous release, which was the last like holiday release, I wasn't at all interested, that came with the blush. Wasn't interested in that at all. And I haven't, I haven't bought any of the newer ABH palettes at all. The only two other palettes I have is the Jackie Aina and also the original Novena. So this is the first palette that ABH has released in a long time that I've been even remotely interested in. Now, I kind of thought, well, do I really want to buy from ABH? That's a whole other story, but I did go ahead and pick this up. So I am really excited. I'm going to do a look today. I didn't plan this at all because I had no idea it was going to turn up. I did actually pick up their concealer. I haven't used it today though. I did use something else, but I did pick up the Magic Touch concealer. So I'll use that in a different video or just on my own. And they did throw in a clear brow gel, which if you know, I do not use anything for my eyebrows. So anyway, this came from America and it took, yeah, like I said, 4 or 5 days. And I've ordered something from the UK and that's obviously closer to where I am. And that was a good 3 weeks ago. And it's just sitting in customs. I paid for the tax and everything, I paid for custom clearance, and it's just sitting there. And I don't know if it's coming out or not, but this was great. Had no customs issue at all. Obviously got here super fast. So that is cool. I did order from the website itself. But yeah, I just think this it's very reflective, so I do apologize, but I think this color story is really interesting. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's a little bit boring. I don't know, I kind of like it because it's muted. I like that it's like the greens and you got beige, and I really do not mind this pop of color. A lot of people saying, what's that doing in the palette? I actually kind of like it. I think it goes. I don't see any issue with it. I haven't swatched anything. I have just taken pictures and that's about it. And yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was about to do my makeup and then the DHL guy came and I was like, oh, is this like the other shipment I was waiting for? And I was thinking, well, actually, no, that's not DHL. So I was like, oh crap, this is the ABH palette. So I didn't do my makeup and I've been waiting a few hours now because I had to do some work. So anyway, now I'm going to be doing my makeup with this. I do have some foundation on, I have a concealer, and I did a little bit of powder, but that's about it. So I do have a little tiny bit of concealer on my lids, but other than that, I don't have anything else. So if you're interested to see sort of what look I create with this, I guess just stay tuned and then what my thoughts are. It is a first impressions, but I just thought, I want to play around with some makeup, and yeah, I'm super excited. I keep looking down at it. I just think it's really beautiful, but I also, because I didn't plan this, I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm wearing green, so let me just lower you down. I'm wearing green, so I'm thinking I'll lean more into the green. I think I'm going to do that. It just kind of makes sense. I didn't plan that as well again, but you know what? Sometimes these things just happen and you just got to roll with the punches and you just got to just do what you want to do. And I want to do my makeup right now. So I'm going to take this big fluffy brush and I'm going to go in with Liberty. Or should I? No. Yeah, I'm going to go in with Liberty, which is this sort of muted, murky green color here. So yeah, if you're new, I mean, just so you know, I am not an expert at doing my makeup. I pretty much do it all wrong as well. I just do what works for me. And this is a lot darker than I anticipated. So hold on, I'm just going to try and blend this out a little bit. Yeah, I just do what works for me, and I don't do super like really interesting looks sometimes. Sometimes I go out of the box and I do something that I normally wouldn't do, but most of the time I stick to what I like. This is a lot deeper than I expected, but it is pigmented, and as most ABH palettes, well, I only have the two, but they're usually powdery, and this is quite powdery, so it seems to be a very similar powdery formula to what I'm used to, which sometimes I don't mind, other times I find it a little bit annoying that it is so powdery, but this is also a very fluffy brush, so what do I expect? Yeah, so I guess I'm just going to do that like that and just put it all over the lids, sort of obviously concentrating on my crease and the outer V, but that's sort of going to be my starting base. Look at me, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. All right, next up, I'm really interested in this peacock shade. You know what, I always say I don't swatch them, I just go in with it. I really should swatch some of this, but I really don't. This is a nice looking shade, this Hope shade over here. Ooh, what do I do? What do I do? I think, let me just swatch Peacock, because that, yeah, okay, that's one of these different like duochromes. I like this, but it's not what I'm going for today, but I really do like that. But yeah, I'm not going to be working on that today, I don't think. No, hold on, I need a tissue. I think I'm going to go in with this shade called Hope. This is a lovely oh, this has got a little bit of a flip too. Ooh, this is pretty. This is a little shimmer satiny shade. It is green. It does have sort of, yeah, it has an undertone of brown, but it's mostly green. Well, it's pulling off green on me, but I like this. This is very beautiful. Really stunning. So yeah, as I was saying, I have not been interested in buying any of their eyeshadow palettes in the last, like all the ones that they've released, I would say maybe in the last 2 years, because the Jackie Aina was released, I think it was before the pandemic, right? So I got that during the pandemic, and then the Novena was around the same time, I want to say, that it came out. So yeah, I'm only used to the old formula, the old, you know, like ABH when everybody loved them. And I never wanted or was interested in their really big Norvina palettes, like not interested at all in those. I really like the fact that they're going back down to these smaller palettes. It just makes more sense to me. And obviously these pans are bigger than the other ones, the Jackie Aina and Novena. I remember when I did my first impressions for the Jackie Aina palette like 2 years ago when I first started my channel, I mentioned that I expected the pans to be bigger. I was like, wow, these pans are so small. But you get enough product. And I like that these are slightly bigger. You can get in there more. I don't really mind it, to be honest. Obviously you lose 2 shades, so that's a little bit of annoying. But I do think it's very beautiful. And I like the outside. I like that's not that velvety packaging that gets really, really dirty. Okay, so that shade I think is really beautiful. This might end up being like a really boring look. I need to spice it up a little. You know what? I think I'm going, let's see, yeah, I think I'm gonna go in with this Isle shade. This is like a orangey, peachy gold color. What is this? Oh, this is very creamy. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with that and sort of blend that out in the front there. So here I go. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That is really nice. Usually I would go in with my finger, but I think it's picking up with the brush really nicely. Yeah, I like it. All right, that was beautiful. I think I'm going to go in slightly darker in the corner there. I'm going to use this Mew shade. Now it is a satin. It's like a brown satin, but I'm just going to use it as if it was a matte, just to deepen up a little bit and give a little bit more dimension right in the inner corner here. Because I do like the outer V, sorry, not inner corner. So let me know if this is a palette that you're interested in. I know a lot of people are vetoing, boycotting ABH because of some things that they've been saying. And honestly, I kind of, I agree with that sentiment. I think it's not right what they stand for. And I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I've gone out and bought their palette now. So, you know, I'm definitely a hypocrite in that regard. This might be, you know, the last time that I purchase from them for a really long time. And as I said, I'm not one to always buy their products anyway. I've only got 2 eyeshadow palettes from them. I've got one, the cream bronzer, and then that's it. And now I've got a concealer, this palette, and I think I'm good. I don't really feel like I need to splash out anymore. I mean, I think I'm good there. I'm just going to blend this out a little bit. It got a little bit harsh. That shade was a lot darker than I expected. I'm just going to go underneath a little bit and drag it down slightly. I did want to keep the underneath quite bright because I would like to go in with that bright pastel-y lilac shade and do a little pop of that either in my inner corner or in the lower lash line. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, because I want to use not every color, obviously I'm not going to be able to do that, but I want to, you know, this is my first impressions. I don't want to just use 2 shades and be done, because that's a little bit boring to watch, and it's also not very fun, you know, to do sometimes when you're trying to figure out if you like something or not. So I've tried to make that somewhat even. It's not super even. I'm, as I said, not the best. I am just a mom who plays with makeup, and that's what I do. Okay, so I'm just going to go in a tiny bit with this brush. This was the brush that I was just using to blend it out. It's not a blending brush. It is the e.l.f. C brush. Just go in a little bit, just so there's a little bit more down here. Yeah, this, I'm not a fan of this shade. I mean, it's very, very dark brown. It's a very dark brown, and it's a shimmer too. So that one, I mean, it looks quite nice actually there, swatched out. I don't know, maybe just the way I'm using it, it looks very ashy, and there's not a lot of that lovely like rich brown tone that I see when I swatch it. I am getting some fallout, but that's fine. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put some of that lilac shade underneath here just to spruce it up a little bit more. You know, it might not look the best. It's not something I would normally do, but I want to play around. So I don't know why so many people were against this shade in the palette. I don't think it stands out like a sore thumb. I know a lot of people were like, why do you have that shade? I don't know why it was such a big deal. I think it's quite nice. And I don't think it looks bad in the palette at all. I think there's, for such a small, like pretty small palette, what, this is 12 shades? I think there's quite a lot of versatility, because you can go obviously full on just green. You could do your peachy tones, or like, you know, peachy tones here. And then you could use these two, which are more like pinky, in line with the lilac shade. Or you can, you know, use a bunch of colors like I'm doing. So I don't think it's actually not that bad, to be honest. I think it's quite nice. Okay, so I think I'm going to put a little bit of the shade that I had here, which is called Isle. I'm going to put that a little bit in my underneath as well with that lilac, just to do a little pop of it. So I'm going to do a little bit here where it sort of starts blending in with this darker color. I just want a little bit more of a gradient, and also gives a little sparkle. Now I guess to put this in my inner corner. I was just looking to see if there's anything else to put here, and there's nothing else that's brighter than this that would work in my inner corner. So I'm just going to work with it like that. A part of me really does want to put this peacock on there though. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm not liking this outer corner. Or I could go in with the wing shade. I think I'm going to do that actually. Let me go in with this wing shade and do just a little bit of where it meets the other green, just to give it a little bit more like vibrancy. these are definitely like soft satins. They're not like impactful shades. So if you're looking obviously for impactful shades, these are not going to be it. But you know what? I don't mind it. I really don't. I don't, you know, I know a lot of people are very used to those types of shades, especially if you buy from indie brands that do beautiful multi-chromes and things like that. Honestly, really don't mind this quality at all. So I'm going to just finish the rest of my face, and then I'll come back. I think I'm going to leave the eyes as that, but once I put everything on, I might adjust a few things, but I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So listen, I think this is a really nice palette. After everything is on, I really do like the way it's turned out. Is it like professional looking? No. Is it a little bit messy? Yes. Do I need work on blending? Yes. But I am gonna get a lot of use out of this. I just know, because it's like a lot of the shades that I really like. I don't like super deep palettes. And the only deep shade really is this one as well. I didn't really use that one, but everything is very light, but it's also muted, and I really like that. I love that it's not super warm toned, because I have gone off warm tones so much lately, and it's not so much as it's cool tone, but it's like I don't know, it's like a muted, murky color story that I'm really into. So yeah, I really like it, and I like the look that I came up with. I used probably, you know, one or two many shades, and I didn't really need to use those shades, but that's fine, it doesn't matter to me. I wanted to do it obviously for the video, and yeah, it's a little bit messy on the outside because that really dark shade was darker than I expected. But no, I liked all of the shades that I used. I actually went in with this Paloma shade just to try and blend it out a little bit and clean it up a little bit, but I found that this one was very pale, so probably just going to be like a setting lid shade, and that's really it. It's not really going to be anything else for me. But yeah, obviously I didn't use these two shades. These are a little bit more warm tones, so didn't really want to. Also didn't use Blur or Belle, but yeah, I don't know, I'm happy with it. It's not the prettiest look I've done, but it's also not the worst. And also, I don't know, it's a new palette. You need to like learn what shade you want to go for. I didn't even swatch these shades, so you know, had I swatched them, maybe I would have realized what I wanted to do, but I just went in there all guns blazing, and now look what I got. So that's what you get when you don't prepare. But yeah, super excited that I got this palette, can work on it and play with it a little bit more. I don't know, I just, as I kept saying, I think it's just one of the color stories that has spoken to me from ABH in a really long time. You know, all of those other palettes, even the soft glam and the modern renaissance and all that, I never wanted to buy those. I just thought they were so boring looking. But this one, someone else looks at this and be like, well, that's boring too. I'm like, yeah, each to their own, you know, obviously we all have different tastes. And I think for now, right now, this speaks to me. I really like it. I liked working with it. I felt like all of the shade, like the shimmers were super soft. But ABH is usually soft, and the powders are very powdery. They do kick up, but that's what their formula has always been like from what I've known. I've never known any other formula from ABH. So I do think that this is a palette that I'm going to get a lot of use out of, and I'm excited about it. Yes, it's a little bit pricier, but there are so many other palettes out there that are more expensive, and yeah, I kind of like it. So let me know what you think of the look I did, and if you're going to get the palette, and what your thoughts on it are. But this was fun to do. I really didn't expect to be filming this today, but I did. And yeah, like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I will see you next time. Bye.